Alright, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy London here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on my buddy's 2011 Ford Mustang GT. Now, if you've seen my previous video on my Infiniti G35, today we're going to be doing something similar to that video. Like I said, if you haven't seen it, just click on I'll probably put something above for you guys to see it. But other than that, though, we're going to be doing another kind of like quick review today on my buddy's 2011 Ford GT Mustang. If you guys can, please go ahead and just hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment on this video, tell me what y'all think about it, and other than that, let's get to it.
Wow, it's such a beautiful evening, and it's just...
Sorry.
Alright guys, so pretty much like I said earlier, this is my buddy's 2011 Ford Mustang GT, and this is actually not any other regular GT. This is actually the Coyote edition with the 5.0 you see on the side here. These cars are pretty much made from the years of 2005 all the way up to 2014, and with this model year being actually, I think, the first Coyote V8 for the Ford Mustangs. Obviously you have your other packages like your Shelbys, Celine's, and I believe the Mach 1 as well, but today my buddy actually got this pretty nice, for a good price too, a black on black Mustang 5.0. So basically, you know, just giving you guys a little outlook at what it looks like from the outside. Basically, he hasn't done too much of anything to it so far. I mean, as you can see, he's gotten some aftermarket wheels. He's got the SVE Series 3s. They run about, I believe, 20 by 8.5s all around. He does kind of have a little bit of a tire fitment issue, but I mean, I think it looks pretty good for the most part. Other mods he's done to it so far, he's gotten some Euro taillights for the Mustangs. He's got a Roush axle back exhaust, and other than that, though, I mean, he's got like some tint, and that's pretty much about it. But today in my video, though, I'm going to explain to you guys, or at least show you guys, kind of what I think might be a really good bang for your buck Ford Mustang, or at least in this case, probably one of the better V8s you can get right now in 2025. But like I said, I'll give you guys another look at the car. Personally, I think it looks like amazing. That's just because I'm a JDM guy, so I don't really do a lot of American cars as much. But as you can see, I mean, just from the front, like, you can just look at it and be like, man, that's a pretty aggressive like front bumper, or, you know, front, whatever you want to call it. I know my buddy's plans is to lower just a little bit, at least like a front and the rear. I think that would make it somewhat a little bit better, make it look even, especially like on this end, like just have it lowered a little bit, like it looks so clean. But yeah, and like I said, I think the taillights look fantastic on these cars as well. They look like dark tint clears almost. But once I turn it on, I can show you guys from the outside look of what it actually looks like. And with the Roush catback exhaust, or not catback, but axle back exhaust, my apologies, what it sounds like as well. So other than that, let me get you guys somewhat of a warm start. What it sounds like pretty much. Alright, without further more though, let's get to driving this thing, man. Shouldn't slam the door that hard. My apologies. Like I said earlier, these cars came out from the years of 2005 all the way up to 2014, and this is basically the first year Mustang invented the first gen Coyote for the S197 class. I believe the class before that was the 195, and actually you've probably seen it in a couple of my previous videos. This is the exact car I actually rode in where that Mustang meets. I would probably say a couple videos back then when I recorded it. So his father actually has the S195 class Terminator, or Ford Mustang GT Terminator, which also it sounded fantastic on the way to the car show, or the Mustang only meet. So, but there's nothing really too crazy with the interior. It's pretty as basic as you can get. I do love the gauges though, how it has this old school Ford Mustang look to it. I think this is probably a very cool characteristic with the Mustang line. And the stereo system, the shaker stereo is quite honestly sounds really good, even for it being a 2011. None of the speakers have blown or anything like that, so which is a pretty good thing. The car does come with leather seats, leather interior, and the tint makes it even 10 times better because it's like super cold in here now. I don't even have the AC up that high. It's only on the first knob, or the second to lowest, you can say. It's like already, after I started, it's already cold. But you got your, cup holders, you got center console. Obviously this is a 6-speed manual, which this is also, it's pretty nice having a manual Mustang. It's actually, like I said, this car is fun to drive. I've been driving around a little bit earlier just so I can get a handle of it and figure out what I personally think about this vehicle. And I'll just shut up and we can just start driving. So actually I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone on a charger real quick, and I guess on the way out, because these little kids wanted to hear the car. So alright, let me turn the window up so you guys can hear me. Alright, so basically, like I said, we're going to do this same way as I did with the Infiniti G35 video I made a little bit earlier. Oh, my bad, boy. There's a one thing I got really liking about it. I'll get that to a second. I literally just did it earlier, and actually, my buddy's gonna kill me for doing this. But anyways, so like I said, with the Coyote engine, these cars were coming out factory with like 412 horsepower off the rip, which for a V8 should be normal and like, should be of class. But during that time in 2011, a little bit of history or backstory of why these cars were being made in the first place, or why now, if you have a 5.0, there's a reason behind it. So this year in 2011, the Ford Mustang GT, previous, I guess you could say, not generation, but from 05 all the way up to 2010, the Mustang GTs only came in the 4.6 liter V8 with a 5-speed manual. Now, during that time, obviously their competitors with Chevy and Dodge. Chevy came out with their Camaro SS, and Dodge came out with obviously the Challenger SRT8. So Ford pretty much was like, oh, our car's really that, it's still a light balance weight car, but it's not really as fast as our competitors. So Ford, started cooking in the kitchen a little bit and came out with this car. Now in 2011, this car did win Motor Week 2011 for one of the best V8s during its time, and pretty much blew out the whole competition. So that's basically kind of blanket history of this car. But really, I kind of want to, tell you guys a little bit of like, kind of like stories about, my buddy, why he personally got this car. So when he was younger, his father actually had a Mustang as well. I believe it was maybe a 05 or I think a 06. I'm not too sure what Mustang he did have, but all I know is my boy fell in love with the Mustangs. He loved the V8s. He loved American cars. So it was kind of like his dream, I guess you could say, this car. So he had other inspirations, which obviously actually is a fun fact, from Transformers in like 2007. If you guys ever watched that movie before, if you're like a Gen Z or you grew up in like the 2000s like I did, I actually grew up watching this movie. It was like one of my favorite movies in like 2007 when it came out. And as you guys know, probably one of the main antagonists that you actually first see, not besides the Black Hawk obviously, but the second main antagonist you see was Barricade, which was the black Ford Mustang GT Celine edition, with the, obviously it was converted to like a cop car for the movies, but that was kind of like his inspiration of getting this car. It looked really badass. I mean, till this day, from that movie, that car looks like, it was, I would say this, since I am kind of a JDM boy and I love my JDM cars, the Mustang has a pinnacle role in, I guess you could say, American society, or in American car enthusiasts. You can't really go anywhere without seeing a Mustang. It's just plain and simple. And the community is like also like very like, they're very like nice. Like they're not like toxic or anything like that. Sure, some of them might be like some old timey boomers or whatever, but overall, when I went to the Mustang meets, like I said a couple of months ago, everyone was super nice. They were really cool. Everyone had their own kind of way they did their Mustangs and everything else like that. So I thought it was a really cool experience just to be around and everything. So, but like I said, these cars literally have had an impact in the car culture for generations now. So that's how amazing these cars are. But that was a little bit of his story of why he got why he's got this car now. Not me. I don't own this, but he's gotten this car now, and I can actually agree. I've driven, like, just by driving around, everything in this car. If we're gonna if we're going to like the pros and cons, the pros I would say is the power distribution of the car is phenomenal. It's perfectly balanced, and for the chassis being such a lightweight for a V8 motor, you can put a lot of power into these cars, and they're super fast. Like, you've seen these cars at, you know, on like 1320 videos or any like drag event you've been to, you've most likely have seen a Ford Mustang there. Maybe not a base model, obviously, because I think you've got a base model like American muscle car. That makes absolutely no sense. But other than that, though, you see these cars everywhere. It's from drift events and like drag events as well. They have a very good scene in the NASCAR world as well. And I will say, I really do like the NASCAR sound of these Mustangs. If tuned properly and everything, these cars can make some really cool noises, let's just say, exhaust wise. Man, these roads are terrible. Jeez, I can hear every bump. Shifting is extremely smooth. Now granted, we did do a transmission flush on this car, I would say, actually before that actual Mustang meet. And right now, just shifting it, it's just smooth. It's super smooth. It's not anything crazy or jerky or anything like that. It's super smooth transmission. Now, I do know, I guess from the Mustang community, I think it's the MT82 transmission that are in these cars are really not preferred by anyone who owns a Mustang. I've heard they don't shift really well. They shift like trucks because they have a really long timing, I would say. And that's kind of a no-go with a Mustang, obviously. It's really fast V8. It should shift really fast or whatever. But that was kind of one of the cons, I guess you can say, about these cars. But really, it's not really, I haven't really felt a difference. I'm driving pretty normal right now, I would say. I'm going 100 miles per hour in fifth gear, so I couldn't complain about it anymore. But I will say this, though, since we're on the topic of transmissions, as you saw literally just earlier before I got onto the bridge, I was stuck in neutral, and I thought I was in first gear or something. I don't know if it's just me, because I'm not used to driving the Mustang a lot. Like I said, I'm just now driving this car. I promise I'm not unsafe or anything like that. You see me drive the G35, so I'm pretty comfortable driving a manual car. But I will say though, the shifting is super smooth, but it's super short for me personally, and that's just, I like my long throw shifting. But in this car, it doesn't really feel like it's long throw shifting, so, which is okay. It's okay. My buddy, he likes it. Cool for him. I can't really complain about that. That's just some little personal, I guess you could say, ick I have, but that's really about it though. This is like probably one of the better V8s, at least right now, you can get. My buddy, he actually got this car for around $16,000, and when he bought it, it had 99,000 miles on it. Literally 100,000 miles, which is pretty good. So, like I said, there's nothing really wrong with the Mustangs. Now, I guess we have to address the elephant in the room here. These are pretty much marked, like every Mustang that you've ever seen on reels, memes, whatever. Infamous crowd killers. Or what they're labeled as, basically, which I think is low-key, and it's kind of crazy that they are labeled as that, but it's not 100% untrue. But what I personally think about it, I think it's mostly the drivers who drive recklessly like that. And that's what my buddy was telling me when he got the Mustang. He's told me like he's not like to be compared to those kind of guys because like he doesn't go to takeover meets or he doesn't like try to drive like an asshole. Hold on, I might do a little pull here. Man, the power the Mustang has is insane. It is so smooth, it's smooth. I don't know how else to describe it. The power this car has, it's just incredibly smooth. And like hit the gas, like you're going, but not like a jerky weight, a jerky like way when you're like, oh my god, I'm getting like pushed back. It's just smooth, straight line speed, can't beat it. But back what I was talking about though, about the whole crowd killer situation. Most people drive like that, or mostly drivers that are reckless. Obviously, you're getting behind a wheel of a, like I said, 400 horsepower V8 muscle car, manual or automatic, doesn't really matter. But you could be like a teenager and you're like, oh, I'm like the Mr. Hotshot. I have probably the fastest car in the parking lot or whatever as a high schooler, and you're trying to pull out the parking lot, and all of a sudden your back end starts spitting out and you can't control it, which hinders the whole reason why they're called crowd killers, because people don't know how to drive these cars and they get into wrecks. It just happens. But what I personally say is I don't know if people call these overrated. I'm not for sure. I don't think the Mustangs are super overrated. I think there's just so many of them, right? They've made so many of these Mustangs. Everyone that you probably know someone that has a Mustang. It's just inevitable. But that's how good these cars are, though, at the end of the day as well. Even though you might think they're crowd killers, they're, clown on cars. Just like how I explained about my Infiniti G35, not every driver is like that. Not everyone's super reckless. Not everyone's trying to do donuts around a parking lot every time. Let's just be honest. I'm pretty sure that's just going to ruin your car at the end of the day and make your car less valuable than it is now. So, with me personally, while driving this car, it's been a blast. I've been having fun. I feel comfortable with the leather seats. It's got tint in here, so I live in Florida, so it's getting hot now because the summer's coming up, and I've been enjoying just the AC and having it cooled. But I don't think this is a super, I guess you could say, overrated car. Anyone can pick up a Mustang easily, honestly. Like, you can really easily pick up a Mustang. I'm not for sure the market is, though, for, I would say, from 2011 and above, because these are technically the facelift from 2005 through 2010. So I guess you could say it's the second generation for the S197 class. And these are, I think, honestly, I would have to agree, these are the best. Like, these are really good cars to own. Now, daily drivability isn't really so friendly. You do get around like 18 miles city and like 25 highway. So, I mean, like I said, you're in a V8, so it's a gas guzzler. You already know. Like, I think if you're getting a V8, you should know that your car is going to be a gas guzzler at the end of the day. It's not no Honda. Well, we'll put it at that point. It's not no Honda. But, I mean, besides me glazing it a lot, though, like, these cars do have a very, especially if you build a really nice Mustang. Like, I've seen some really nice Mustang builds, especially from the newer generation Mustangs. Not so like the one we have the digital dashboard. I think I kind of know why Ford did do that, because it does look kind of ugly. Like, I'll probably put a picture up or something like that of it to show you guys what I'm talking about, but I just don't think it's like the Mustang way, and I'm not even a Mustang guy, and I feel like that's like should be like, I feel like, this is like wrong. Like, this is not how the future should be, you know what I mean? So, like, this, like I said, because this is like the first gen Coyote, like, you've heard the name before, 5.0. These engines are pretty much in Mustangs and now even like 150s, and the power you can get from those engines is like incredible. And most of the time, you just put on bolt-ons. Like, my buddy was able to save up some money, put some bolt-ons on this Mustang. He's probably building up around like 600 horsepower off the rip just with bolt-ons, which is quite honestly dangerously insane. I would personally say that's insane. But really cool at the same time that, like, because of like this engine, like Ford did change their whole way of making their cars now. So, and blatantly, I don't think you're really gonna want to buy a Camaro SS because of the visibility they have, or is like horrendous, which I've heard. And obviously, for a Dodge Challenger, I mean, you're basically buying a boat for $50,000, and that's not really fun either. Yeah, I would say, for at least for my review of this car, for being overrated, I don't really personally think so. I think these cars are, if anything, they're a guarantee. Like, you should get this car only if you are experienced at driving manuals and you're not really you don't have a heavy foot driving a V8, because it's 400 horsepower is like a big difference. These cars, so like my Infantry 35, like, you know, only pushes around like 300 horsepower at least. I mean, sure, it's 100, you know, horsepower difference, but that 100 horsepower difference does, like, actually significantly makes a difference in this car. So, like I said, it's a good buy. You get one of these, you're getting yourself a really good, not really necessarily daily driver, but you're getting yourself into a community that's like positive about their cars. I haven't really heard anything negative besides maybe the imbecile drivers who drive the Mustangs. So yeah, on that though, I guess we'll just chillax, drive around for a little while. I'll let you guys listen to the car and everything, and that's about it. So yeah. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. Hope you all enjoyed my review of my buddy's 2011 Ford Mustang GT 5.0 edition. Like I say, if you guys can just like, comment, and share this video. Also hit the subscribe button as well. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so if I can get that number up, I can give someone in my pocket. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm just trying to do some videos, that's it. I like cars, so I don't really do this as like a day-to-day thing, but like I said, I love doing this stuff. So, and if you want me to do a review in your car as well, this should be, I think my email should be up in my channel. Just shoot me an email. We can link up. We'll talk about your car, and you know, you got any stories you want to share with me, you can share me some stories. But other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.